From the most trusted names in local news, KDPG Sunday Edition.
Good morning and welcome to the KDPG Sunday Edition. I'm Stacy Smith. Today is the final day of the 60th Dollar Bank Three Rivers Arts Festival. What began as an outdoor art show in 1960 has now grown into perhaps the biggest event on Pittsburgh's cultural calendar. And that is in no small part due to the work done by the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. The trust, which developed 14 square blocks of downtown Pittsburgh into what has become the Cultural District, took over production of the Arts Festival in 2009. The festival combines music, performances, and visual arts to create one of the highlights of the Pittsburgh summer. And our guests this morning are Sarah Aziz, the director of the Arts Festival, and also with us is Terry Bell, Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Community Engagement for the Cultural Trust. And we are joined, as we are every week, by Joe Smito of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Thank you both for joining us this morning on the KDPG Sunday Edition. First of all, it seems like great weather, and it was I know you say it every year, but it was a success this year as far as the Arts Festival goes.
Yes, it really was. We're excited to be wrapping up today, and we have had great weather. If it holds out today, we'll count it as a win. We've just had a couple showers, and it's been really
normally
good.
we have some strong winds that move through, tents blowing around. We haven't had that happen.
Knock on wood, everyone.
Knock on wood, absolutely. What you say, it's always a success. Normally, you bring in about 500,000 to the city with this?
Yeah, I mean, years it'll fluctuate. It kind of depends, of course, on the weather. Also, other things that are going on around the city. The years that the Penguins happen to be in the Stanley Cup Finals, we saw a little bump. If the Pirates are in town, now that it overlaps with the Pittsburgh Pride Festival, we had a really strong opening weekend last weekend. So, you know, it's always in sort of that number.
I was going to ask whether that helped or hurt having the Pride Festival go on at the same time. I think it would help because you get everybody just walking around then.
Exactly, it really does, and that audience seems to really enjoy art and culture, and the artists in the market love it when we overlap because they come with their wallets.
All right, I want to get into one final point here. I've been in the city for a long time. It didn't start with 1960, but I've been here for a while. And the Arts Festival has evolved through the years, and one of the evolutions was to spread it out. It used to be basically in Gateway Center, and then it's been moved across the downtown area almost. Has that really worked for you?
Yeah, so it's changed footprints quite a bit over the 60 years. You're right that it started out kind of at the point, and then it went to Gateway, and then at one point throughout like the 70s and 80s, it was really all over downtown, all the way over to the USX Steel building. Now we've kind of reined it back into the Cultural District, and it's still mostly in Point State Park and Gateway. But yeah, adding the galleries that we have in the Cultural District, the Wood Street Gallery and space, really gives people an opportunity to see some more indoor art that's different from what's down here at the Point. And it's just one stop on the T, which is free, so super easy to get up there if you don't want to walk.
How do you keep it fresh from year to year? How do you inject new blood into the festival?
Yeah, so we do an open call for artists every year, which is a really fun thing that we do. And so artists from all over can submit their ideas for the Arts Festival. That's how we get music, it's how we get artists, it's how we get special projects like Toby Fraley's Time Capsule this year and the Tiny Doors PGH projects both came through there. So, you know, getting the word out, we do a lot of community engagement that Terry can speak to later, but we try to, you know, get the word out about those open calls and get lots of different people applying. And then we change our jurors every year. So every year it's kind of different because, you know, different people have different tastes, right? Art is subjective. So some years artists might score higher than others just depending on the jurors that we have. So it keeps the arts market really fresh.
We should note that the Arts Festival is just 2 weeks out of the year. There are a lot of other activities that the Cultural Trust is involved in. And Terry, that's where I'm coming to you. Is this the biggest event for the Cultural Trust, though?
I would say yes, it is. I would have to give that to Sarah, that the Arts Festival is our biggest and most well-attended event.
But you have a lot of other events that take place.
We do, and in particular we do the Gallery Crawl in the Cultural District. We've got one coming up in July. That's a quarterly event that we've been doing since 2004, and that brings a lot of people into the Cultural District, about 30,000 plus annually. People who attend the arts festivals, all 4 of them, and has a tremendous economic impact as well.
You call it a gallery crawl.
The Gallery Crawl in the Cultural District. It's where we open up the 14 blocks of the Cultural District, open our galleries, and just people come, and we partner with businesses in the Cultural District, businesses like Social Status and the Renaissance Hotel, schools like Kappa, organizations like the PDP and Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council. Everyone is a part of the gallery crawl and forms a gallery crawl stop. In the July crawl, there'll be 20 different stops. And so the patron comes down, and it's a free, family-free event and also free. And they sort of roam from place to place and do a self-guided crawl through the cultural district.
The Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council a couple of years ago put out a study showing that the arts have a really huge economic impact on Pittsburgh, and that the impact that the arts here have here in Pittsburgh is bigger even than the arts have in similar sized cities. How do you account for that? What explains that, and what is the Trust's role in developing that?
Well, the Trust has played a tremendous role in developing the art scene in Pittsburgh with the transformation of the cultural district. I mean, anyone who's been around Pittsburgh for a number of years knows what it used to be before the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust took over and transformed and the economics and the art scene in Pittsburgh. A lot of people make their decisions about where they want to live when they go to school here. Do they want to stay based on the arts offerings? And, you know, just the gallery crawl alone has over a $1 million economic impact just in that festival.
Do you see the area that the Cultural Trust, the cultural area as we like to call it here, expanding?
I don't think so. I don't think there's plans to expand beyond the 14 blocks that we're in. Of course, to expand some of the offerings that we have within our 14 blocks, such as what we've done with Liberty Magic and adding that to our portfolio of offerings, and just constantly looking for ways to expand what we do and what we offer and who we attract. But I don't think beyond the 14 blocks at this point we have plans.
Maybe not expand over space, but certainly in content you've talked about expanding, right? And in subject matter. I mean, there's been talk of housing, there's been talk of a movie theater. I mean, you have other plans in the works.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are many plans for that. We have development of housing going on with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust and with other entities in the downtown Pittsburgh footprint. The Cineplex is a project that will open up in the next couple of years, so we're very excited about that, and just continue to look at different programming opportunities and ideas and ways in which we can engage segments of the community that we don't always engage.
There's a lot of talk about that movie theater. Where does that stand?
I don't have an update to give you. It is a work in progress. It is well on its way to becoming a great offering in the cultural district, and something new and unique that we haven't had in many years. It's not so new because we had in years past, if you go back, way back, not multi-screen, but we had single screen movie theaters way back.
Benedum, Stanley Theater.
Correct.
And then we
The
had
Warner Theater. Exactly.
on Fifth Avenue. So yeah.
The Fulton. And,
Fulton.
Right.
And so we've had.
So it's bringing something back, but in a new, fresh way. So we're very excited about that project.
One of the things the Trust has done, I think, is sort of have a great variety of programs. And, you know, Liberty Magic, you mentioned, I think, is sort of an example of that.
Yes, it is. Liberty Magic we're so excited to have that in our portfolio of offerings. It is a small, it's at 811 Liberty Avenue. It's a very small venue, under 70 seats, and it's sort of a speakeasy environment, and it's dedicated to elevating the art of magic. And if you haven't seen it, you need to come out and check it out. It's really a cool environment, and it gets you up close and right there with the magician.
How is attendance for the regular events that would take place at the Benedum or Heinz Hall and the O'Reilly?
Attendance is great. I mean, can you speak at all to attendance? I don't have those.
I mean, we look at our ticket sales, and yeah, they're very strong. The Broadway series are very strong, and yeah, people come down for all the arts offerings. We like to talk about how we sell more tickets in the cultural district than all of the sports teams combined, which I think is, you know, something to say for Pittsburgh. You know, we think of
that's quite a statement.
Yeah, that is quite a statement.
Yeah. So we do that, and I think to sustain a festival for 60 years also really speaks to the community and Pittsburghers really embracing the arts and coming out every year. That's why the festivals like this don't work in other cities necessarily, because they don't have the community support that we have here in Pittsburgh. I mean, people come down year after year after year, and we do work to keep it fresh and new and exciting to give people something to look forward to, but it is, like you said, you know, just sort of part of the fabric, and that's a testament to the people who live here.
And it's not all in ticket sales, because again, with the Dollar Bank Three Rivers Arts Festival with the jazz programming that we do. We do free jazz programming every single week of the year, and have so we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of the BNY Mellon Presents Jazz Live series this year. So we've been committed to offering jazz for that long, and a lot of it's free programming. So it's not all measured in ticket sales. We do a lot of the free festivals and free offerings as well.
Which was it a chicken and the egg, or have no connection whatsoever with the push for people to live downtown? Does the trust make that happen?
I know that was part of Carol Brown's initial, sort of vision of the cultural district, using the arts as a catalyst to redefine downtown Pittsburgh, and I know residences was always part of that vision. I don't know if you can speak.
Yes, it always was. It was always a part of the entire plan, was to create a neighborhood in downtown Pittsburgh, a viable, culturally rich neighborhood that people could live here and enjoy, and also people could visit here as a destination from other locations, and also from different points within the region.
We're basically out of time, and I'll put this one out there. Is the Cultural Trust going to assist in getting a grocery store downtown?
I don't think I can speak to that. That would be great, though.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be really great.
I want to thank both of you for being with us this morning on the KDPG Sunday edition. And we continue. There's going to be a big change coming to high school sports in Pennsylvania. It deals with postseason playoffs in public and private schools. It's a hot button issue, and we'll talk with the state legislator who is behind the move coming up.